Afternoon, people. I didn't think I was actually gonna get on here this week. We are dealing with a horrible tragedy. Like, I just wanna cry talking about it. Um, my son's best friend on Saturday, he was coming home from work, and he zoned out while he was driving, and he ran a stop sign and killed 2 little boys. The kid's only 17, so it's it's been it's been up and down. I'm over here when I first heard about it and I heard that it was my son's best friend, like, I instantly thought he was passed away, but he wasn't. He was checked out at the scene and he got to go home. It's I don't even know how to describe it. It's a horrible situation for the family of the 2 little boys, and then for the best friend's family. I've been over here just trying to keep my son straight, make sure he's good, he's okay. He's been calling and, getting on Xbox parties with his best friend and his mom. I gotta read you guys this text. We'll get to the Mackenzie Shirilla thing here, but I'm just gonna explain a little bit here about what's been going on, why I've been MIA. Let me find the text here. Like his mom. Where the hell is it? Let me see. Is this it? Oh, that's me. It's people have been sending me pictures of the accident. I'm like, yo, I don't want to see this shit. I don't have a screenshot of it. Where the hell did it go? Let me go into the text messages. For you guys coming in, you might want to start the live over and then you'll hear what's going on. Mm, mm. She says, okay, so this was after my son and his best friend got off the Xbox Live. This was not yesterday, but it was the day before. She says, "It's so weird seeing him going from almost normal gaming with a friend to completely the opposite as soon as that distraction is gone. As he was turning off the Xbox, I could see his face changing again. Thank you for raising a son that can have that kind of power in a friend's life." And I'm like, "Oh, Chad, Chad." What's okay with this thing? Yeah, I could somebody um a friend's son sent me a picture of the 17-year-old's truck. It caught on fire. It was red, but now it's black. And then I was looking at the news channels, like articles and stuff. Um somebody and I wanted to say something like, "You have no idea how bad I have had to I've had to keep my mouth shut." But, somebody has a video footage of the SUV that had the dad and the 2 boys in it, and I'm just like and they're posting this in the comments on the fucking news channel. I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me. You've got to be fucking kidding me." Like, the friend group, though, that my son and the 17-year-old boy are in, we have a group chat going on. Monday, I am taking dinner to his family, so I'm gonna do baked ziti, and then we're trying to get, oh god, we're trying to get, a GoFundMe going. So I'm just all he did was zone out. His phone was in his pocket because he's the one who called 911. He pulled the 10-year-old boy out of the car, dad came to, and dad got himself out. The 9-year-old was ejected. I'm just like, ugh. So it's been a little rough these last couple of days. I don't know. And I cannot wait till this is all over so I can just go off pop off at the mouth on these people. I get it, I understand they don't know what actually happened at the scene and what, like, caused the accident because It's not our story to tell. If the 17-year-old or his mom and dad wanna tell, they can tell. But I'm like, "Oh my god, people." But okay, I'm gonna get to the Mackenzie Shirilla stuff because I'm gonna start crying, and I've done enough for, like, our whole it's been a devastating thing. Ugh. Now my anxiety's back, and I don't know. I needed to pop on here. Um, I'm gonna play with some Brian, and this was, I think, from last night. Chad, I've been watching your stuff too, by the way. I've been doing it in the shadows secretly. It's keeping my mind off of what's going on. That's why I'm on here now. The 3 stepkids aren't here, it's just my son, so I'm like, "I'm gonna go live and let everybody know I'm okay. It's not our immediate family because I did get some messages. So, but let's look at Mackenzie Shirilla, like, y'all, this girl, So Brian actually interviews she was on one of his things about I believe she was on one of his things about the Nancy Guthrie stuff, I think. But she does more of she goes more in depth and pretty much like why like what she thinks mental illness that she has. So it's probably
Appreciate everybody who's subscribed. I sound a little weird today. I'm a little bit under the weather, have a little bit of a cold, but I still wanted to get this episode out because I've been working on.
Oh yeah. So whatever this sickness is going around, y'all, it fucking sucks. My son brought it home the last week of school, and this week is his second week off of school. I had it the last week of school too. I got it towards the end, and I'm still coughing up stuff. It's horrible. Everybody's getting sick.
On it for a couple of days. I'm continuing to dig into the Mackenzie Shirilla case, the big documentary, The Crash on Netflix that everybody seems to be talking about. The young woman convicted of murder for slamming her car 100 miles per hour into a wall, killing her boyfriend and their mutual friend. In this episode, a couple of things. First of all,
I think she purposely did it. I think it was Dom gave her too much. Oh, my arm's gonna go off. There you go. Dom gave her too much, as in, what are the things that he bought her, and she's Mackenzie. If you're or Mackenzie's parents, if you hear this, your daughter's a piece of shit. She's going nowhere in life, and she piggyback off of Dom. 100% piggyback off him.
just these crazy reports from her jail about where she's in jail about all sorts of disciplinary issues, sexual issues with her behind bars. She has not been a good inmate, which we didn't know about until these reports were released. So I'm going to get into that. All
I think it's the video before this one. I'd have to go and look, but I did play some, um, TikTok videos of one of the girls that she was in jail with, and she got her hands on, um, what's it called? It's like the reports or whatever, not the actual reports, but it just says, what the date and what offense she got. Dude, this girl, mm-mm. I hope she never gets out.
Also, Dr. Casey Jordan, criminologist, friend of mine, I'm talking to her about what she thinks about the case. Does she think Mackenzie is a psychopath? She's really pointing her fingers at the parents in a lot of ways, which you're going to hear her explain sort of her analysis, which is fascinating. She's so good at getting into the criminal mind. And then the condition that Mackenzie claims to have, POTS. Remember?
She doesn't do pots, I
Claims
can tell
that
you that right
that's
now.
why she passed out and crashed into the wall. Well, one of my amazing viewers has POTS and reached out to me and wanted to explain why that is not likely at all and what it is actually like to have POTS. And apparently people in that community are very mad that Mackenzie.
They thought I had POTS for a while, and I don't, but when we were thinking it, air quotation marks, thinking that I had POTS, like, I joined those Facebook groups and I did my research, and just watching her standing there in that courtroom when she's standing up, where is it at? Like, right there. She should have passed out. She should have passed out and hit the floor. No, she does not have POTS.
is claiming that that condition somehow caused her to crash into the wall. So you're also going to hear from her. I'm getting into all of it in this episode of Brian Ensign Investigates. All right, hey guys. Okay, so a lot to get to in this episode when it comes to Mackenzie Shirilla, a lot of new developments. Let me give you guys a little bit of the backstory just quickly for those of you who haven't been following along very closely with her case. I've done a couple of episodes on it. But she was convicted of purposely crashing her car into a brick wall, going 100 miles an hour, killing her boyfriend, Dominic Rousseau. Did just a heartbreaking interview with Dominic's sister last week, if you guys want to go back and look at that, and also killed their friend, Davian Flanagan. I now have all of the reports related to Mackenzie in jail, in prison.
Oh, I'm a broke joke and I'm not paying for premium, so hold on. I did have it. I did 3-month trial and I had it, but it's over with now.
Where she has been in a lot of trouble, which we didn't realize. I mean, I had heard some accounts, and we've obviously interviewed some people who've been in prison with her, but I didn't realize how much trouble she's been in behind bars. And this is according to
It's a lot of trouble she's in. Like, it blows my mind that the things she's doing in jail and getting into trouble with, that she thinks these aren't going to count towards a parole. They are going to count. Like, it just blows my mind.
KYC, there have been 36 different prison conduct reports, and she was found guilty in 32 cases, and she was found not guilty in 3. So basically, and I know this from some other stories that I've done with different prisoners, they have like a little system in prison. So if you get a complaint, then it's not an actual like trial, but there's someone who determines whether it's you actually did something wrong, you didn't do something wrong when a complaint comes in. So she was found guilty in 32 cases, not guilty in 3. They report that when she first entered the Ohio Reformatory for Women, she went months without a conduct report, but then started getting into trouble with what's...
This place is like, I think I Googled it, it's like 2.5 hours from me. I'm not saying where I live, but it's like 2.5 hours from me. Like, if it would have been closer, I would have went to her trial and stuff. Like, I would have went and did it and then reported back, but like this girl, this girl just makes me so mad.
It's described as a steady stream. That's what they called it, a steady stream of disciplinary issues. And this month, they report she refused to carry out a work assignment for work details. That was from this month. There was a different case where staff said she had medication that didn't belong to her, and they found a personal photograph depicting drug use on her. There are also reports that say Shirilla created...
She get away with this shit in jail. Like, she literally thinks, oh, it's not gonna be a big deal. Like, she needs to have all of her freaking shit, all this shit her mom is buying her through that app or third-party app or whatever it is. She needs to have all that taken away, and she needs to be freaking treated like an actual inmate. Like, I don't know if she's in, I call it big girl prison or big girl jail, where the, how do I wanna put this? I'm trying to sound politically correct here. The bigger girls are like, "Yo, you're gonna be my jail bitch," or, the colored girls come after her. Can you imagine her being in big girl jail and having the colored girls come after her, or the bigger girls saying, "Hey, you're gonna be my bitch"? She would pop off at the mouth and, ooh, they'd beat her ass.
Disturbances
I hate this
in the
girl.
jail, that she was disciplined for violating... This one is interesting. Disciplined for violating video visitation rules, and even accused of exposing her breasts during a video visit, and that, quote, an individual who was not approved to participate in the visit entered the camera frame completely unclothed. So they say she actually exposed her breasts during a video visit. Again, remember, is this someone who seems sorry for what she did? Other violations include 7 counts of being out of place, 6 counts of involving contraband, 4 counts of disobeying direct order, and 4 counts of violating institutional rules, regulations, or procedures. Again, WKYC got all these reports, and I was looking over them. Shirilla was found guilty of consensual sexual conduct or consensual contact with another incarcerated person for the person of sexually arousing or gratifying either person. So that's the...
Okay, so if you think this is bad, just wait. I only watched to maybe, like, right here when she started talking. I haven't finished it, but, oh my god, this girl, once you hear what she did on the, video call, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god. Oh my god." Like, it gets better, I'm sorry.
Quote there. Again, sorry about my runny nose. That's the quote there of what she is found guilty of. I'll read it again. Consensual sexual conduct or consensual contact with another incarcerated person for the person of sexually arousing or gratifying either person. She's also found guilty of sexual harassment. I mean, this is a long list. According
Yeah,
to TMZ, in one
she
jail phone
can
call, and there's more of these jail
a
phone
long
calls
list
that have
of
come
shit
out.
going on
With
in
her
jail.
mom, Mackenzie reads a message from a woman named Kendra, who says she watched a live stream of one of her court appearances and notices something different when Mackenzie walked in, and then said, quote, "Bro, your ass has gotten so big, LMAO." The message says,
She did
and
gain
then
some weight.
Mackenzie's mom responds, "Everybody's saying you got a bumping little booty now." So the mom said that to Mackenzie. Everybody says you have a bumping little booty now, according to the jail call.
Who I don't even know how to say this. My mom, if you knew my mom, you would be like, "Oh, that's something she would say." My mom would make the comments kinda like that when there was nobody around, but it wouldn't be to the, "Oh, Mick, people are saying you got a bumping little booty or you got some junk in your trunk now." No, she always what kind of parent says that to their child? Like, the mom is looking at Mackenzie in this whole situation as a freaking cash cow, and that's what she's doing.
Again, you just think about this mom, and I'm going to get more into the mom and what criminologist Casey Jordan thinks of her in a second. There's another jail call. Mackenzie told her mom she wants to become a life coach when she gets out of prison,
A
which
life
is kind of
coach.
shocking.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
and there's a lot more of these calls are coming out, and it just doesn't paint the picture of someone who's truly remorseful, in my opinion. So I want to talk to criminologist Dr.
I
Casey
gotta park.
Jordan. She's a friend of mine. She has a
So if you were here for the beginning and heard about what the situation that's going on, because I see there's a couple more people came in. This girl, compared to the 17-year-old, that's my son's best friend. This girl's not remorseful. This 17-year-old boy, oh my god, the shit he's put himself through, and he hasn't even gotten arrested yet because they're still doing an investigation. But I arrested is the comment I know it is. Um, the how do I want to say this? The the mental beating up of himself, if that's how I don't know. I'm still trying to come out of shock and everything because of this. But the stuff that he's put himself through mentally, because I know how this kid is, and he's just he takes things, the small things, too hard. Like he'll beat himself up over everything. But I can tell you that this kid is so remorseful just because I know how he's treating himself. And honestly, I know I shouldn't say this because he did unalive 2 little boys, but what he is putting himself through is so bad that I feel like this is punishment enough. Plus, he has to live with it for the rest of his life. But I know courts are not gonna say that because they don't know him. And maybe and he's not getting tried as an adult because he's not close enough to 18, so he will be tried through the juvenile court system. So he'll probably most likely get 90 days in juvie, probably a year or 2 of house arrest or probation, and his license suspended, which is fine. I tell my son, like, "Hey, go pick up the 17-year-old, he needs to go to work." He'd be like, "Okay, I wanna see him anyway." But, like, I can tell this kid has more remorse than this bitch. And if anybody's in here that follows Queen Bee, can you leave in the chat, like, where the hell she's been? I was gonna email her this morning, but I totally forgot. I got sidetracked and forgot to, but she has not been live on anything, and I hope she's okay.
really interesting perspective on Mackenzie, what's going on in her brain, whether she's a psychopath, and she also
Oh,
has some
she is a
strong words
psychopath.
and feelings about Mackenzie's parents. So this is my conversation with Dr. Jordan. Thank you for joining me, Casey.
Always good to see
Nice
you,
to see you in
especially
person,
at CrimeCon.
Yeah, in person is awesome. I wanted to ask you about Mackenzie Shirilla.
Yeah.
One thing that I've been struggling with thinking a lot about is if this was intentional, couldn't she have killed her, died also in the crash?
At the exact moment when she had her foot on that accelerator, she didn't care.
Oh,
She
no,
was
she didn't.
emotionally flooding. I'm guessing, just based on everything I learned from the documentary and all the stuff that we've read offline as well, we know that Dom was trying to break up with her. He had told his family this. He had mentioned
I
it,
wish he
that
could
he
have
was
done it
going to
before.
end that relationship. Now, usually we see these kind of weird codependent relationships that are possessive in the opposite direction, where the man is possessive of his girlfriend. But in this particular one, he's got a life, by the way. He's got a house he lives in. He trades crypto. He has money. And she's possessing him because, don't forget, she's
He has everything that she wants, and she saw that. She saw about the crypto stuff, all his little side things. He did, he did start up, I believe it was a clothing company, I wanna say a month or 2 before. This kid was going places, and she saw that, and she wanted to go along for the ride. That's why she acted the way she did. Like, she's mentally messed up.
doesn't really have a life outside of Dom. So I think at that exact moment, something happened in that car, that conversation on the way home. She may have been doing her grandiose kind of
Okay, so I don't know how true it is, but on one of the jail calls from Mackenzie to her mom, she said that Dom was missing that night they were at that friend's house at that little party or whatever they were doing. She fell asleep on the couch and she got up and she couldn't find Dom anywhere. And she thinks he was cheating on her, which I think he has before, or I know she was. But I can't remember if Dom cheated or not. I wanna say yes, but I also wanna say no. But she says in the phone call that she couldn't find Dom, and she had been and then she I guess she found him, whatever, and asking him, "Where were you? Where were you?" kind of thing. And he probably told her in the car, "Look, I was with somebody else. Fuck you." And that's probably what set her off.
attention seeking drama stuff, which we've seen in the videos. And I think that he said, that's it, we're done. That's my best scenario of what happened. And in that exact moment, I think she just was like, I don't care whether I live or die,
Yeah, she flew
but
off the hinge.
he's not going to live. And the way that
More of a,
that
"I can't
car
have
hit
you,
the
nobody
corner
can."
of the building and sheared it in half, vertically, not horizontally, makes me really think she was aiming at the corner so that the right-hand side of the car, the passenger side of the car, would smash into that brick wall at 100 miles an hour. Did she plan on living or dying?
Yeah. If you go and look, because the video cam or the video or, the cops' video stuff is out there. If you look, like, she was going straight down the road, and then when she got to that T, she went right and up over okay, before she got to the T, it's supposed to be a stop sign, whatever. So, like, right there at the stop sign, she went right up over the curb, down back onto the top part of the T, and then up on and hit the sign, and the corner of the building is probably, like, 15 to 20 feet to the right if she woulda kept going straight. So if she woulda went straight and didn't do anything, she would've, like, hit the building head on. No, it was the passenger side, so she curved around. She purposely did that.
I don't think she even thought about that in the moment. She just knew that life wasn't worth living and that he can't leave her.
I want to introduce you guys to the sponsor of today's episode.
Go through this real quick. I hate that Brian Enton's done doing this stuff. Like, I get it that he gets paid for it, but it kinda I'm like, "Brian, don't sell yourself
She
short."
seems very manipulative.
Oh, hold on. Oh, man. Let's go. Oh, if only if games look that realistic.
That's listen.
Kind of an understatement.
I want to
yeah.
give a shout out to the podcast of Todd Grand, because Todd Grand is the forensic psychologist that I have all my students watch. He did a terrific episode on her and used, I think, 30 adjectives to describe her. Manipulative was in there, but grandiose, attention seeking, excitement seeking, thrill seeking, and entitled, risk taking. I mean, he listed 30 things, including fatalistic, that he identified that are just really indicative of a person. Remember, she wasn't even 18 when she crashed that car. We talk about young people as emerging adults until the age of 27. So you can't approach this with an adult perspective on, like, why can't you talk it out? Because she's an emotional teenager with a lot of negative cluster B personality traits. We're not diagnosing here, But
I'm
you
gonna
can
have to go
see
back
it when
to
you
watch
watch her in the
what his name was.
videos,
I can't
and especially in her social media. And then at the end of the documentary, The Crash, in that interview with Mackenzie, you really see her personality come out.
2 questions. What is fatal?
Yeah, so I ended up watching it. Looks over at her lawyer. She literally looks over at her lawyer. Is that good enough? I don't want to force it too much. Acting. Like,
Fatalistic mean? And what did cluster B, did you say?
This is DSM stuff.
Okay.
Don't get bogged down in it.
What is
But
DSM?
The Diagnostic Statistical Manual, this is what forensic psychologists use to diagnose people with.
Okay.
Personality disorders are in the cluster B zone of that. So when you hear about people who are borderline, who are histrionic, narcissistic, I mean, I've been avoiding using that word because it's overused and overdiagnosed, but there's no way you can watch Mackenzie Shirilla and not come to the conclusion that she's incredibly narcissistic.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is about her.
Yup.
So when you see her behaviors, especially the social media, it's all about a preoccupation with her own self-image and her body and her looks, but also her public image.
I can tell you right now, this girl, okay, I'm 5'10", 5'11", depends on what doctor's office I'm at, okay? How do I want to say this? So if you look at her before all of this happened, how freaking paper thin she was, I can tell you that her jean size was either a 0 or a 00. Yes, they make 00 pants. I am living proof. I used to be that skinny. And then I got on some medication. Now I'm pushing 180. Okay. But girls who, okay, I'm going to tell them myself. For myself, when I was that skinny, I thought I was fucking all that. Like, I thought, like, you can't fucking touch me with a 10-foot pole. Fuck you. I had that attitude of I was God's gift to men, because all the guys were always coming to me. And that's like all my friends are guys. I have one best friend that's a girl. I've known her since 3rd grade. Love her. But all my friends are guys. I get along better with guys. I fucking hate women because all they do is just bitch and complain and gossip and everything, and guys are just like easygoing. But being that skinny, you do build up in your mind that you are the shit, that nobody can touch you, and that you are better than everybody. And when I was watching some of her videos when before all this, like her TikTok videos and stuff, and like I'm just like, that is exactly how I used to be until I gained this weight. Like I got knocked down a few pegs once I gained this weight. I was like, but whatever. But I'm like, that's I don't wanna say I was crazy like that, but just thinking that I'm better than everybody. And she's exactly like that because she's skinny.
She needs
Not
everyone
saying
to
all
be
skinny
looking
girls
at
are like
her
that.
at all times. And that creates very often attention seeking and risk taking. Now, fatalistic, to answer the second part of your question, is that kind of que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. You know, maybe I survive this, maybe I don't. Fatalistic just simply means if what you're doing kills you, you don't care. As long as you're having fun, getting your needs met, feeling thrill, excitement, power, control in the moment, fatalism is just kind of like, eat, drink, and be merry, because tomorrow we could be dead.
Do you think she's a psychopath?
Nothing can happen to her.
So if you think about narcissism on this end of the spectrum of antisocial personality disorder, and of course your viewers know what APD is, it's not something that's black and white. On this end, you might have vanity that graduates to narcissism, that can graduate when you lose respect for the rights of others and have no feelings of guilt or remorse, to sociopathy. But when you get to the very end of that spectrum, you are in full-blown psychopathy. And psychopaths are really overdiagnosed. Everyone uses the word, bandies it about like he's a psychopath. But the psychopath is the most terrifying end of the spectrum because you can't see them coming. I would argue she is somewhere right between sociopathic and psychopathic. She's very charming, but I can see her and immediately I don't like her. And that means she's in the middle of the spectrum. When this graduates to a level of manipulation where you think that this person is charming and lovely and you can't see that they are actually really dangerous, that's the scary thing about psychopaths.
Yeah.
You can't see them.
She's not there yet.
She's not there yet.
Yeah.
Although, based on the latest interview that I saw with her, and you know, the body language experts have all weighed in on their YouTube videos, But I think she's graduating
Um,
there.
so I looked up sociopathic tendencies. Okay, sociopath is an informal term for antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. Eh, I don't think she really has the antisocial. I don't know. Let's just keep reading. Key tendencies include a chronic lack of empathy. Yep, she does not have that. Manipulation. She does that. Impulsive. Oh my god, another word that I can't say. Y'all dyslexic over here. Impulsive avidity. She's impulsive. Which is true because she made a split decision to do that, wreck the car. In a disregard for social rules and the rights of others. Boom. Dominic and I want to say Damien, but that's wrong. The other boy, the two Ds. I'm gonna call them the two Ds. Individuals with these traits often have superficial relationships and feel no remorse for exploiting people. See, sociopathic tendencies exist on a spectrum, and traits may manifest different depending on the individual. Common behavioral signs and characteristics include lack of empathy and remorse, an inability to understand or care about how others feel, combined with the lack of guilt after harming or deceiving someone. Manipulation using charm, flattery, or lying to influence, exploit, or control others for personal gain. She did that all the time to Dom, all the time. Impulsive and risky behavior crash. Making decisions without regard for consequences, safety, or responsibilities. Disregard for rules. A consecutive violation of social norms, workplace policies, or laws. What she's doing in jail. Aggression. A tendency to get into frequent fights or exhibit hostile behavior when challenged or to assert control. We already heard we heard one good example of that when Dom was recording her at the front door on the phone. So yeah, I would definitely say she is the sociopathic in there.
Because prison has not had an effect on her in correcting her. She just thinks this is going to be another segue to fame and fortune.
Yes.
And she doesn't believe she's going to be there for very long. And when she gets out, she's going to be a star. So that level of self-delusion, we call it almost the pseudologia fantastica. It simply means that she's self-brainwashing. She's special. The law doesn't stick to her. She's
Okay, so the self-brainwashing thing goes back to the whole rant I did about the skinny thing. Um, that is how do I wanna put it? I self-brainwashed myself when I was skinny. Like, thinking I'm better than everybody, my shit don't stink kind of thing. That yeah, she definitely self-brainwashes herself. I wanna show her TikTok videos, but I don't wanna give her the view or, give that attention, but if you ever come across her stuff on TikTok, I don't know where else they're at, that's the only place that I've gone to look, but, just watch. Just watch how she, like, carries herself in the videos, so, like, the little, like, turn the head and, kinda wink thing or whatever, just watch and analyze her face. She does self-brainwash herself.
got her mom to help her out. We'll talk about that in a minute. But she probably thinks she's going to serve half of her 15 years, get out, and, be the next YouTube sensation.
It's interesting that you said that. I never
Girl.
thought about it. Like a really, I guess, a good psychopath, you don't really pick up on. They are good at convincing you. Whereas I didn't find her likable at all
Correct.
in that interview. And you kind of see right through what she's trying to do.
Yeah, people with antisocial personality disorder who are right in the middle of that spectrum, they're narcissistic, you can see it. When you meet them, you don't like them immediately.
Yep.
And, it's not just the batting of the eyelashes and the performative presentation all the time. She does it for social media, but then I think she's lost that boundary between social media and her real life. She's just performative all the time. She's acting all the time as if, we call it, I'm geeking out on you a little bit, but in sociology we call it Cooley's looking glass self. When you see other people, what you're doing is reading them and looking at their face for how they're looking at you. And you're modifying your behavior in response to that so that you think you're looking in a mirror at all times. You're never just relaxed and being yourself.
The fact the reports are that after the crash and she was still in the hospital or just leaving the hospital, she was talking with on TikTok about getting like a clothing deal, and the mom was involved.
Yeah.
I mean, meanwhile, her
We are
boyfriend
so grateful
had just
for the
died.
opportunity. Yeah.
What is that about? Like,
That's sociopathy.
Yeah.
It really is. Everything is me, 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 me. I want to get what I want to get. I mean, listen, social media has obviously its good parts, right?
Her parents, I'm blaming them for how she is. You can definitely tell this girl was never told no. She probably was parented, which I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. Go back to Smith's people. Open hand on the bottom, no closed fist. Like,
It connects people, but it can absolutely be a drug to especially young people who have no moderation. They don't have any oversight. And I think she was just consuming social media from the time she could walk and talk.
Yep.
By the time that she is committing this crime, her goal, and I just want to back up, what does this girl bring to the table?
Nothing.
What does she do
She
other
gives
than have
nothing.
a high school diploma and look good on camera? Zero. If she's vapid, she, as far as I know, she's never had a job. I mean, did she even ever work at a McDonald's? Does she know what it's like to pull a paycheck?
Right.
Does she doesn't make any money. Everything has been handed to her by her
Yep.
parents and then by Dom. And everything that she's wearing, all of her bags, her Chanel, this was purchased for her by Dom. And in many ways, by the time she was 17, even though I believe she loved him in her own immature limerence way, she was using and manipulating him to get what she wanted.
Yep.
And
Yes, she was.
that, I think, is part of, when possession and love become enmeshed, you completely lose perspective on why you're with somebody. But without Dom, what was she going to do? Think about that. Where was she going to live? Who was
Yeah, she was 100% using Dom. I like she just said she thinks Mackenzie actually loved Dom in some sort of way, but I don't think she did. I just thought she saw Dom as like an endless bank account. And I hate to say that, but I think that's what she saw. And that sucks for him. I wish he could have got away from this girl. I would have loved to see what he would have, done in life because he had his head on straight. He had his own house, his own vehicles, the car that he had, he was so proud of, like, and then his own clothing line. Like, I wanted to see what he would have done.
going to buy her clothes? Who's going to take care of her? Would she have to go home and live with her parents, which is so lame? And again, her parents allowed this and even encouraged it.
with some of the text messages that she would send to him, I think he was trapped.
Oh, he
Definitely.
was.
Because she would say, like, if you don't do this, blah, blah, and he'd be like, I'm trying to spend time with my grandparents, not, you know what I mean? I think he knew,
Let the boy go spend
like,
time
she
with
was
his
going to go
freaking
cross the
grandparents.
line if he didn't.
Like, yeah, that when he was recording her trying to get in, the door was locked or whatever. Like, his grandparents were in town, I believe, and they were all gonna go out to dinner. If that was like that with my husband, I'd be like, yeah, go with him. But he would also ask me to go. He would. He always asked me to go everywhere with him. But, like, I'd be like, "Oh, no, I've gotta go do this with so and so," like, "You gotta spend time with your grandparents," Like, it's the memories because I work in a nursing home, okay? I get it. They're not always gonna be here. So, he needed to go spend that time with his grandparents, and I think she did get into the house, he let her in. So, but I'm just like, "Oh my god."
Stay with her.
Not only that, but he made sure that somebody knew. He told his mother. And this, believe it or not, is like what we tell with battered spouse syndrome, which of course is most often women being abused by men, but it can be the reverse. And you can have different kinds of abuse. I don't know whether she ever actually laid hands on him, but she was definitely financially abusive of him.
Oh, yeah.
And you heard her screaming outside of his door. By the way, that's his house. And she's like, you will let me in. Da, 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 da. He is calm as a cucumber, and he's smart enough to tape it because
Yep.
he knows that she is decompensating. He knows that she's becoming more and more threatening and less stable. He informs his mother about this. And then he's documenting it because, and this was the most important part of the documentary, if you ask me, Brian, he wanted people to know and told his mother that she had sped up and said that she was going to crash him and kill him. I mean, His mother knew this. I don't think she
Yeah,
made
that
that
was
up.
2 weeks before it
But one
happened.
of the more important things is that after he told his mother this, Mackenzie made sure that she sent a text that reversed that role,
Yep.
reversed that story. And she was afraid Dom could kill her.
Oh,
And
whatever.
that
Manipulation.
is a total manipulation, but also what we call a preemptive strike. So that if anything bad happens and they are in a crash, she's going to blame him because she has written proof. Now, I don't think Mackenzie understood that he was literally thinking she was dangerous and documenting everything like we usually see battered women do.
Yeah.
He was basically an abused partner who was making sure his mother knew and was recording her histrionics on banging on the door and everything else because he knew how unstable she was.
What do you think of her parents?
I don't think there are enough hours in the day for us to get into this. Listen, parenting is tough. Let's just establish that. And it's really tough in this age when there is so much outside influence in social media. And you don't know, kids are given screens from the time they're 2 years old. I think that Mackenzie was a runaway train by the time she was, hitting puberty, wanting to be an influencer. No other goal on the planet. No college, no work, no identity other than her little duck face poses. And her parents not only allowed this, but at a certain level encouraged it, because we saw when she was in the hospital, her mother was acting as her agent, trying to get her out there to be a media sensation, playing victim. And the mother enabled her social media addiction, and the father, through his own words, enabled her drug addiction.
Yes.
And listen, weed is legal in so many states. It's
Yes. So, I ran over the article. I think I maybe showed a video too. Yes, I did show the video because he kept looking. He wouldn't look at the camera, which I thought was really, really weird. He got I don't know if he's actually fired now because I haven't really dug more into it. But at the time he was I think he was on paid leave because he's a teacher because of what he said in the show. And he's like, they took that completely out of context, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, let's watch this and see. And then it got to the part, and he says he basically he's okay with her doing drugs, and he laughs and smiles about it. And I'm like, you're a fucking teacher, dude. Like, and you're saying that the school took that out of context? No, get the fuck out of here and sit down.
it's not about the judgment. It's about, he was like, I don't have a problem with her smoking weed, or you, or
Right,
me. And now
he said
he's
he has no
suspended
problem
from
with
his
it.
job for poor judgment. Listen, it's illegal for everyone under 21 for a reason. And clearly her parents didn't care. And you saw her constantly
Yes.
putting this on social media and bragging about her use of marijuana, and we know that she was interested in mushrooms. But the most important thing we learned from the documentary is, even though she had smoked some weed earlier in the evening, she wasn't drunk, she was not on mushrooms at the time. When she put her foot on that accelerator, and I found the prosecutor incredibly compelling, the amount of research he did with the accident reconstruction, she put her foot on that accelerator with the sole purpose of crashing that car.
Yeah, so that Mary Jane, I don't know if I can say the W word on here. That was earlier in the day. So by the time all this happened at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's still in her system, but she's sober. So she knew exactly what she was doing.
The parents, and also the fact that she lived with the boyfriend, I thought was kind of strange.
Yeah,
what
I don't
parents
wanna-
would allow that.
Yeah,
You know?
okay. And slut shaming is a thing.
Yeah.
Here's the bottom line. We're not going to judge her because she's living with her boyfriend
Yeah.
and she's sexually active at a young age. But think about it. That's her parents basically getting her out of their house and passing her off to somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't see it so much as they approve of Dominic so much as they're happy to just get her out of the house.
Rid of her.
She's living with him in a house that his parents own or his mom owns, but he has found a way. He's very clever, according to his father, with crypto and finding a way, financially quite the little genius at a young age.
Yes.
And to a certain extent, I think her parents liked this, that she could be, if you will, a kept woman by a boyfriend who was decent, and they approved of him.
Because he had money.
So it was almost
That's
just
why.
kind of like, no one cared whether she married him. They kept saying she'll marry him someday. But it was a very symbiotic relationship between Mackenzie and Dom, and the parents not only allowed it, but approved of it and I think encouraged it.
The jail
I would
calls
never
between her and the
touch
mom are so
Unbelievable.
strange. First of all, talk about manipulative. She's manipulating the mom, I think, in some ways
Yeah.
on the calls. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
the secret language.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Which, okay, so we have a term that we call covert incest or emotional incest, and it does not mean sexual contact. It means this kind of enmeshing that happens very often between mothers and daughters, where the mother, and it can happen through either parent, but it's really mothers and daughters especially, where the mothers live vicariously through their daughter. All right. And I think we even saw that to a certain extent. It's different than Munchausen, but if you saw the documentary Unknown Number, right? And the mother, you know, very involved in her daughter's relationship with the boyfriend. Same thing here. Now we know that Natalie, the mother, she has no problem with Dom. They love Dom. They've been together since she was 13 or 14 years old. He is 3 years older than her. And part of me is like, okay, when she's 14 and he's 17, I don't know. Are most mothers okay with their kids getting sexually involved with, but they like Dom and they just were like,
because he had money. That's
we like
why.
the kids, so if this is what you want to do. Basically, that relationship with her mother that was emerging through the jailhouse calls shows that they are a united front. You definitely see it between the mother and daughter. The dad is overly protective, but even in the documentary,
just
no,
there.
it's actually not in the documentary, in the police chest cam that is taken when the parents first get to the police station, he calls her a dumb 18-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's dumb, she doesn't know, they're all dumb.
They
so
are.
at least he can kind of see the truth of her immaturity. The mother doesn't at all. She is her daughter's number one fan.
Yeah.
She wants her daughter to be famous, wants her to be an influencer, stands by her, had the most horrific victim impact statement at the end where this is not usually what parents do, is go in front of the judge and just start presenting a case to defend their daughters. They usually...
Honestly, I think the mom, she sees Mackenzie as dollar signs. The dad, he's just there. Like between the mother and the father, their relationship, I think the mother runs the show, and the father is just a yes man. Just a yes man. Um, sorry with the clearing of the throat. I'm still trying to get over that sickness I had. But and then Mackenzie comes along, and now Mackenzie's running the show. She's acting like this lady said, slut shaming. She's acting like a ho-ho online. And I don't know, I think I missed it. Or or did I see it in one of Brian's videos? But Brian was I think it was Brian, was talking about she got into trouble on like, the video call that she was doing because she showed her boobies. Because some guy came into the frame naked, and then she shows her boobs. She's doing that shit on fucking video calls in jail. Like, girl. But I think it's Mackenzie. When Mackenzie came along, she started running the show. They gave her whatever she wanted, and they never told her no. Dad, i.e. dad. Dad's a yes man. Dad says yes to everything. Mackenzie gets what the fuck she wants. And that just right there is what started it all. My son is 17. He doesn't ask for anything. Literally last Christmas, I tried to get him a Samsung watch because he has a Samsung phone. He didn't want it. And it was like $200. He didn't want it. He's like, "Mom, I don't know. It's too expensive." Like, my son is basic of basic, and he's happy with what he has right now and doesn't want anything more, doesn't want anything new. He doesn't want nothing new. And I'm just like, "Okay, okay." But this girl, dad says yes. Mom's like, "Okay, let's go do it." You know, like, they're just looking at her as fucking dollar signs, and it's sickening.
admit remorse for the victims' families. Natalie did none of that. It was all about her daughter, her daughter, her daughter, the family, the family, the family, everything that they have suffered. I mean, the judge literally had to interrupt her and say, all I'm hearing about is your daughter. Do you feel anything for the victims? So her mother is very much loving the attention that her daughter is getting. Maybe Mackenzie has the life that Natalie always dreamed of. I mean, I don't know enough about Natalie. Does she have an identity of her own? Does she have a career of her own? Is she a stay-at-home mom? You know, she was emphasizing to the police, I need my phone back because I have another child, right? So I think that she's living vicariously through Mackenzie and her fame, because at the end of the day, Natalie doesn't have a life of her own or an identity of her own other than being Mackenzie's mom. So the two of them are more like friends or sisters than parent and child. That weird Pig Latin language that they're speaking, this is something little kids do. Develop a secret language so that they can get over on the authorities, on the parents. And they're doing, she's almost regressing to becoming a teenager herself, Natalie, when she talks to her daughter.
So interesting. And Mackenzie is like abusive to her on the phone, kind of like bossing her. Don't you hang up on me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it reminded me so much when I saw that of Casey Anthony yelling at her mother from those jailhouse interviews 15 years ago. But yeah, that's the thing. Natalie really, I almost see her as, well, Mackenzie is the puppet master, and Natalie, who's the parent, she's the puppet. She's the marionette. Her daughter is pulling all the strings. But I don't know, other than she's going to say it's because of her love for her daughter, but she's totally lost her perspective about what a parent should do. Parents have to do really unpopular things with their children sometimes. Create those boundaries. There are no boundaries between Natalie and her daughter, Mackenzie.
No, there's not.
I think that she really does want to help her daughter get out, become famous. Again, this is adding a certain level of excitement and notoriety to Natalie's life that she's never had before, and she likes it.
It's weird.
It is.
And just my last question, should we feel any sympathy for Mackenzie? I mean, she's like, I don't know, should her life be thrown away in jail or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the bottom line. We can explain it away with her immaturity, but that doesn't excuse it. I mean, we were 17 once. We didn't go crashing cars into building to get back at our, people breaking up with us. There is a level of, it's not just immaturity and narcissism. This young woman has learned nothing from her mistakes. So you look for them to learn. She's not even going through the lip service of, I have had consequences and I am sorry. I mean, she just keeps saying, I'm sorry. But she's sorry because she's in jail. She's not sorry. There's a different way of apologizing to a victim's family. And you know it when you see it if it's authentic. There is nothing authentic about Mackenzie. And I think that if her mother quit feeding that ego and helping her on the outside, she's selling products in jail. I loved your interview with the other young woman who had been in prison with her. That was really telling.
Interesting, right?
That she's making jewelry and she's like violating all the rules, calling her mom. They're using cash apps to pay for the jewelry. So the rules, even in prison, don't apply to her. She's just like oblivious. She doesn't care. And if her mother put the brakes on and, if you will, broke up with her daughter, because they have this weird incestual emotional relationship, that would probably be the first thing that would help, I don't know, get Mackenzie on the road to actually being in touch with her emotions. I think deep down there is regret, but she has built up a facade. She is just so phony, so fake, so performative. She doesn't even know who she is. And she hasn't hit rock bottom yet. That will only happen if her family just cuts her off, lets her pay the piper, be in prison, actually, like,
see, that's why I said in the beginning.
Be miserable, not get cash apps, not get makeup, not get anything in commissary. Then she will really start to accept her fate. Right now, they're not doing her any favors by standing by her.
Ryan gave up at school. He was lacking.
Yeah, they just need to cut everything off, like I said in the beginning. They need to cut her off and let her actually learn to be in big girl jail.
Always good to see you.
I appreciate you. I really appreciate Dr. Jordan for taking the time to talk with me. I'm starting to sweat out here. Sorry, it's hot. I met up with her at CrimeCon. I was in CrimeCon in Vegas for the weekend and wanted to get her take on everything that has to do with Mackenzie. So appreciate her as always. She's awesome. I also heard from several of you with POTS, which is the disease that Mackenzie claims to have. And she claimed that could have caused her to pass out and cause the crash. And people in the POTS community seem very, very upset that claimed that and say that that is not a possibility. And there's a woman named Angela who's one of my viewers. Shout out to you, Angela. Thank you for reaching out to me. But she has POTS, and I wanted to get her on record kind of explaining what it's like and why she believes that it would not cause Mackenzie to pass out. And keep in mind, with a lot of these disorders, you know, it can affect different people differently. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind. But I did want you to introduce you guys to Angela because I think she has an interesting perspective when it comes to POTS and the Mackenzie case. It's nice to meet you, Angela. Thank you for reaching out to me and for talking with me. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
So you have POTS,
Yes.
which is it postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So what did you think when you saw the documentary and heard about Mackenzie, you know, blaming that for the crash?
I haven't watched the documentary, but I've seen like a lot of the news coverage and reporting things. So it really made me angry.
Mhm.
I just, the more I heard about it, because there was a lot of things that she was doing that if you had POTS, you wouldn't be doing. And it kind of gives us a negative light, those of us that have it, because you don't, there's no reason for POTS to have you floor your car to where you're going 100 miles an hour. There's
No.
just, it's not, it's basically a positional syndrome. It's what has to do with your nervous system. And if I could say the word correctly, it's like dysautonomia, something to that effect. And it's basically when you stand, you go from a sitting position or like laying down, or like you bend down and you stand up, your blood pressure drops and your heart rate goes up. So I've had episodes where I'm like, my blood pressure goes to 60 over 80. I have a pulse of 170, and you feel it coming on, you get dizzy, and then you pass out. Your limbs go weak, and it's just a situation where the way your body feels, you're not going to be able to press down on an accelerator.
No, you're not.
And I hate that they tried to blame it on POTS. And then with her not having any medical records, you know, nothing coming forward from the medical community saying that she had anything, because POTS is hard to diagnose, but you definitely have symptoms.
So to diagnose POTS, they put you on like a board, if you wanna call it that, in the hospital. They actually will strap you in from your feet all the way up, and you're laying flat when it starts, and then when they start it, it doesn't go fast, but it tilts you up, okay? But you're standing straight up, but you are also strapped in, and they're watching your heart rate, your pulse. Most people do pass out when it goes from laying flat to straight up, and that's how they do it. I believe they also do like I want to say a running test. It's been a minute since I've had to relook all this stuff up, but there might be like some type of stress test that they do and stuff like that. But I know the number one thing they do to test for POTS is the board from laying down to straight up. If you have POTS and you're sitting on the couch and you're like, okay, well, I have to go to the bathroom, you literally have to stand up super slow, so you do not pass out. Like, this girl, she was if you go back and watch when she was in the court and she started crying, how she stood up and just stood there, I can tell you right now, that should have made her pass out 100%. And then her crying and putting her body under stress, that should have also, um what's the word I'm looking for? That should have made the POTS even worse, if that makes any sense. So, but yeah.
For quite a while before you get your diagnosis. So they would have had something to show it, because I got diagnosed about maybe 17 years ago. And it's I've learned how to deal with it at this point, but
Yeah,
like
there's no cure
her
for it.
doing, as I've heard her doing drugs or like drinking alcohol, that just exasperates the whole
Uh-huh.
um all of the symptoms and everything, your heart rate with POTS. So if she was doing those things, well, pretty much, I guess the best way to say it is anyone that suffers from POTS wouldn't be doing those things,
Yeah, they would not know.
because it makes you feel that bad. You don't get those highs like you would. I'm assuming, I've never done anything like that, but even drinking alcohol, your heart rate just intensely speeds up, and then you have a higher rate of passing out. So, but it's something that's hard to do while you're driving as well because you're already sitting.
I see. So it's normally when you go from sitting to standing.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't happen just while you're sitting.
No.
Okay. And if it did happen while you were sitting, I guess you wouldn't have the energy to push on the gas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Body just goes limp.
What
Like,
does it feel like when it
um,
happens?
I say I feel woozy. Like I feel it like here in my head. I just feel it. And then I can feel my heart. It feels like it's going through my chest. And then when I do, usually if I start to feel that, if I sit down quick enough, then I don't pass out. But if I do, it's like I instantly black out. And there's been a few times like where if I've been standing in the hallway, like I'll hit the wall or I've fallen back on my bed or um I thankfully have never like passed out to where I've completely fallen and hit the ground, but it's been enough to where it's usually pretty quickly, but it takes a long time to recover.
How often does it happen?
Well, it used to happen with me like a couple of times a day, but
Mm.
I have found a good cardiologist and they put me on medication. And this medication helps regulate my heart rate and my blood pressure. So unless there's something else going on,
Um, Back when they thought I had this, like I said, I joined the Facebook groups. A lot of women were talking about extra salt, eating tons of pickles, because I guess it helps with everything. But I kind of wish I could reach out to this girl and be like, look, hey, have you tried this? I'm sure she's heard about the pickle thing, but it's just me wanting to help. But there's things that they can do to control it ish. Emphasize on the ish, because it can happen. Like, even if you're on medication, you could still just, stand up and pass out.
that's triggering it, I stay pretty steady. But like the other thing is we have to avoid like really hot temperatures and really cold temperatures because that can trigger it to go
Dilate the blood
crazy is
vessels.
basically
Right,
the
right.
best thing I can say. I don't know how to, and there's no,
Okay, so we're gonna sidebar here a little bit. And I'm gonna try to make this short because you guys are gonna be like, I don't fucking care. When she said they've got to avoid the hot and the cold, um, I've got to avoid the hot and the cold. I have um Raynaud's in my fingers. So like oh, it's like the weirdest feeling ever. So like if I go to get into the freezer and I'm not wearing gloves and let's say I pick some meat, like hamburger meat or whatever that I have in there, I pick it up bare hands. Where I've picked it up at, my skin instantly goes like it goes numb and then my skin turns white. It's like I have no feeling. Like, if I touch it, it's like needles and pins sometimes, but there will be no feeling in it. I could slam my hand or my fingers, whatever is, exposed to the cold, in a door and not feel it. So it freaks you out the first time, trust me. And then I get it. The first time it happened, I was actually laying in my bed watching watching Netflix and eating like little gummy bear things out of this little pack. And I went to put my hand in it to grab another gummy bear out, and I couldn't feel it. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" So I turned my light on, and I could show you guys a picture if you ever want to see it. Um, it was on my right hand, my index finger, and my middle finger. And I was just, going and grabbing like that, whatever. And they are completely white. And it was weird too, because it wasn't like a straight across or one finger wasn't down more. It was a diagonal across the fingers. It was like the weirdest thing ever. But then in my toes, okay, this started back in 2019. The guy that I'm with now, I was actually standing in his mom's yard, right? I gotta tell you, you guys are gonna be like, what the hell? So I'm standing in the yard. He was doing a garden for her because she's elderly and she couldn't get out there to do it. So he was like tilling up everything. And I was standing there with her because she's unsteady. I had flip flops on. So we started dating in March. Yeah, March of 2019. Um, it happened, I think May or April, because I had flip flops on, but it was still cold out a little bit. Whatever, we did whatever, and then we get back inside, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, my toes itch, and I look down, and my toes are all red, and there's these little bumps all over them. Oh my god, it was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. and I put some, like, cortisone cream on them, whatever. So then after that, anytime I would go outside with flip-flops on, and I thought it was the or the what the hell is it called? The photosynthesis or whatever it is, the photo something from the sun, like you're allergic to the sun, basically, that's what I thought it was. Um, Anytime I go outside in flip-flops, barefooted, whatever, nothing covering my toes would turn red. I shit you not, like, they would be from the tip all the way to where they go into your actual foot part. They'd be red, swollen like little sausages, and hot. And I'm like, "Oh, this sounds like fibromyalgia, like Burning Man syndrome." That's what it felt like. My toes felt like they were on fire. There was many times I would run inside because my refrigerator has the 2 doors on top and then the pull-out drawer on the bottom, which I absolutely hate it. But I would run in there, and I would open that bottom door, and I would stick my feet inside the freezer, or I'd run into the shower and put the cold water on and put it on my toes. And supposedly that's Raynaud's. I'm like, "No, that's not Raynaud's. That's not Raynaud's." They never did figure out what's wrong with my toes, and they've gotten a lot better. But I'm kinda like this lady where I've gotta avoid heat and I've gotta avoid cold. So it's like a whole thing. Okay, sorry. I just went off on a little rant.
treatment for it either. So, um, but I probably haven't had like a real bad episode lately, but it often happens like if I'm really tired.
Are people in the POTS community upset about Mackenzie saying that?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
I
Yeah.
actually I commented on something on Instagram, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me like, I'm glad you're saying something because this is not what happens. And I'm like, well, and that's when I reached out to you because I was like, if anybody's gonna if you responded like someone that's gonna answer or like do it with integrity, I was like, let me try him first. And I appreciate you contacting me because yeah, there's a lot of people that are like, you know, there's a lot of things we have to do to get through our days every day. And
Mhm.
she was not exhibiting those things. Like we have to take in larger amounts of salt.
See? Straight up salty.
Like during the summer, I live off of liquid IV because getting that extra salt helps regulate our system and things like that. And there was, I think even on the last video you did, there was a couple of people and I talking about how we have to deal with it. And it's just, I think
People with POTS are I don't know if it's like her, like this, like she's been dealing with it, I think for since she was 17, she said. She's been dealing with it for a very long time. I know people who start out getting the diagnosis, they'll go out and buy like a blood pressure cuff and they check their blood pressure a lot throughout the day. Now, I don't know if she's still doing that. I'm sure she's learned the signs that her body is showing her, but they do their blood pressure all the time. Like all this, like she's talking about the salt and the stuff like Mackenzie shows no signs or symptoms. She's not even on a medication, like
the big thing is there's no way, and we honestly believe her and her mom just picked something that looked like, oh, you can pass out and no one's really going to know what's going to happen, so we're going to use this as an excuse.
Maybe that's why they didn't have any medical.
if there's not okay, so there's no medical, like, diagnosis before the crash. Did they test her after the crash to see if she had it? Like, I have not heard anything about that, and I'm assuming that they did, considering there was no, like, medical record, but she would've been complaining, and this stuff would have happened even before the crash.
Experts. They didn't really bring it up much during her trial. Like there was no medical expert explaining it. Maybe that's why,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because honestly, it took me probably 5 years to get my diagnosis because there's only
It does
really
take a long
one
time.
test that they can do. It's called a tilt table test.
Yep, tilt
And
table.
they lay you down on this table and you have your arms like spread out like you're on a cross. That's the only way I can think to say it. And they put on a blood pressure monitor and heart monitors, and then they start slowly lifting the table and then putting it back down, and they're checking your blood pressure and your heart
Yep.
rate the whole time. And both times I had that done, it was inconclusive. So I actually had an episode happen when I was in a doctor's office and I was getting up from the table and I blacked out, and the doctor checked all my vitals right then and realized that she had thought I'd had POTS, and then that's what it was. So she went ahead and diagnosed me because she's like, I can see it right here that that's what's going on.
And just again, it only happens when you're getting up.
Yes.
Like if you were laying down or sitting down, it would never happen.
No. And like occasionally I'll get a little lightheaded, like if I'm standing up, but usually in those situations, I can already feel that my heart's racing. So that was another big thing that, people have been saying to me, like, you feel it coming on.
Mhm.
And if I was driving and felt it coming on, just for example, I would pull over to the side of the road, like, and try to take care of myself, not, but I just can't see in any way because you just lose all control of everything on
Mm.
how she would have been able to. Because I've even tried to think about it. Okay, if she pressed the accelerator, but to go 100 miles an hour means you were seriously flooring, had your foot down, and that's just not something that happens.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I appreciate you reaching out to me, Angela, and explaining it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Really
Angela
appreciate
explained that
Angela
all
for
really
taking the
good.
time to talk with me. And that's what's so cool about like this community that I love so much. That's why I love you guys so much. Just like that I get emails from you guys and that I connect with you. And it's not always about like interviewing experts. And I do that a lot, but sometimes I just like hearing from regular people too, like Angela who has POTS. What does she think about it? So appreciate her for reaching out. Appreciate Dr. Jordan for talking to me in this episode. And as always, I appreciate all of you guys for watching and supporting my channel.
Ugh, that's just ridiculous. I was gonna check on, X. I need to use the bathroom now. 'Cause alright, so let me go use the bathroom real quick. We're gonna take a short little break. Grab your snacks and whatever, and we'll meet back here. I am back, sorry. Went to the bathroom and I grabbed a banana because my stomach issues are starting to, pop up, and I need to put something in my stomach. But I wanted to catch up on stuff that I have missed since I took a few days off due to our emergency we had. So I know people hate when people eat, so I'm gonna just kind of scroll and eat, and then if I see something I want to talk about, I'll just hurry up and swallow it. I guess I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really been on here. What is this? BJ is Brittany J. She definitely needs some freaking help. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
That the Rhode Island State Police or the Attorney General's office.
I hate him. I can't stand him. He's annoying. Oh, look, it's Chad. I know he's in here hiding somewhere. Let me see. Required to attend about me or about time having to go to court is part of the punishment. I just read something else that or something else in this. He is technically out on bond according to this paper. What? Chad, what have you been hiding? Looks like you're not getting out of the required to attend. Mm, the mannequin. In our case hereby 9:30 a.m. before the Honorable Judge on July 2nd, which was a couple days ago. Presence is required at this hearing. Where is this? In Florida? Port Richey, Florida. Failure to appear is required, and notice will result in warrant being issued for your arrest. Oh, he go? Does anybody know? Did he go? Chad, you're still here. Did he go? That's interesting. Mm. More education awareness. Oh, what is this? Okay, it's about the mannequin. You mean this bitch who spent 13 years in prison, who played guilty in every case, and is currently begging to plead guilty in Arizona and Florida. Oh, back to jail soon, little bitch. I like this Jose Rodriguez. What is this? It describes lengthy history of menacing behavior by Caitlin, whoever that is, managing. Oh, it's the editor. Times, blah, blah, blah. In an undated mugshot released by authorities, 36-year-old resident who gained national attention recently as the imposter uncle of Adam. Oh, yeah. So if you don't know, I didn't know about this until a couple months ago, that when he went to the Sadie Hook, I think it's like a memorial they had down there for those kids. He pretended to be one of the unalived kids' uncle. That was 2013. Okay, this is old. But it's still a good read. It's a good reminder of how far he will go. Mm. Oh, that's cool. Mm. I don't know who she is, but that's really sad. Those are cute glasses, though, by the way. Mhm. Okay, let's go on. Let's go and get into the thick of it. Nerdy bird. Let me see here. Nerdy attic. Okay, my banana's done. Look great for Massachusetts State Police. What is this? I have no idea what this is. Potato recap. What is this? So, just subpoena the other tweet. Final court. Nerdy. What it's for? I have been MIA for a few days. Oh yeah. So if you don't know, Nerdy Attic is in recovery, and he was talking about going to play a sober poker, and there you go. Oh, I see that. That's nothing. What is this about Sebastian? Probably my favorite feature so far. Whenever there's a missing child alert, one of the first things I ask or check is how close they are to water. Now that the information is built into the map, another amazing upgrade. What? What's this nerdy? Hold on, let me look at it before I present it. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Share this tab instead. This is what I'm looking at here. You guys can see this. This is nationwide recent. All states combined. What's that? I don't know, I'm just clicking on stuff, seeing. Whoa! Ooh! What's he doing? Damn! Oh my god! All of these are missing kids, y'all. Jesus. Let me try to see here. I'm looking. I used to live here in Tennessee, so I'm trying to see. Where's this one? Oh my gosh. Nashville, Anatoc, Labian. Where is Samira or some Smyrna? I can't. I've never been able to say it. I'm trying to find Goodlettsville. Oh, Sebastian Rogers right here. Here we go. Still missing from Amber Alert. Why does it do that? Missing 2 years. I'm not clicking anything. Stop doing that. He's now 17. Yeah, oh my god, that's so sad. This is a good little map, though. Look at all these kids. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but none of these kids should be missing. Mm. Oh, yeah, so this is what I was trying to show you guys, and I just kept clicking it down, but that's Summer Wells, poor little girl. And she's been missing 4 years now. Jesus. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to show you, and Sebastian. That's a sad, sad case. I'm trying to scroll past that because that was not something to show. The next Florida court date released to Mannequin's battery case is July 2nd, the same day as the case management conference for the disorderly conduct in Tucson. Oh, man. It would be hilarious if he had to be there in Tucson on this day. I'm not gonna lie. Why are they driving a car on the railroad? I don't know. That's weird. Let me refresh this real quick. Let's go. Let's see what's new in Nancy's case. Probably nothing, but let me see. What is this? Oh, I don't think it's gonna be in English, so we'll skip that. Where's all this media coverage that was on here for Nancy? Oh wait, Brian Enton would be a good one to check his Twitter. I could probably check his YouTube, but I'm having a brain fart. Hold on. Maybe I'm not following him. Am I following him? Yeah, there we go. Let's go. Okay, we watched that one. They're still diving for that missing lady. God, I hope they find her. Polygraphs in Nancy's case. Primary hearing will be open to the public. A judge just ruled. I want to stream this. I want to, even if he goes for trial, I want to stream that. Aw, look. That's awesome. Oh, he loves dogs. He's got his own dog. Oh. Oh, look at you, puppy. Hufflepuff, the bulldog. Look at him sit. Oh, he's adorable. Pugsley, mommy's fawning over another dog. He moved his head and he's like, not today, bitch. Guess there's not really much to freaking try to catch up on. Let me see here. I'm good for JLR has me blocked, but I could still see stuff. Let's see what bullshit he's getting into. JLR investigates has you blocked. I've never talked to him. I've never like commented at or back to him or anything. Guthrie speaks at Sophia University Global, where she discussed how the field of transcendental psychology interests with. Okay, so what she spoke. Who cares? That's probably part of her job. Savannah Guthrie works for a billion-dollar television network that reaches millions of eyeballs, yet doesn't use it at all to bring awareness. Why should she use her job? She doesn't have to do that, and she probably doesn't want to do that. We're not questioning that. He's so weird. Oh my god. Was she really abducted? No! She walked off on her own. Like, oh my god. The Guthrie family are acting very weird. Where's Nancy? How are they acting weird? They're doing what they're supposed to be doing and what the cops told them to do. Okay, so what? Why would you post a picture of it? Who cares? He was the last one. Let me see. That BS was so prison. My defense attorney rested without presenting a single witness. Wait. That BS was so frivolous. My defense attorney rested without presenting a single witness. So is he saying his attorney didn't do shit? Like, okay. God, 754. That's crazy. It's like under $4 here. Like $3.89, I think. Nope, you didn't. Let's go. We made it back to Tucson safe. Yeah, whatever. Who's this? Ew. No, I would never ask my husband to do that. I better watch myself. I'm gonna end up saying something that I shouldn't say. Mm. Oh, that's who that girl up here. Oh, okay, that's who she is. Oh, I remember that when that happened. Save the bees. Breaking Auburn University student James Washington 20 is currently missing in Japan. Oh shit. The 20-year-old has mysteriously vanished while on vacation with his family in Japan. Weston and his family arrived in Japan on May 25th. He and his family were there celebrating his brother's graduation. Then on May 29th, Weston mysteriously vanished. Weston arrived at that word's station on May 29th at 8:15 p.m. After that, after 8:29 p.m., his cell phone had no more activity. He was last located at, let me try to pronounce it, Yamashana station. Depending on the method of travel, these locations can range anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes away from each other. Authorities say they can confirm that Weston got off the train at this station. However, they cannot confirm whether he got back on. His mother said they did not find his trip odd, as he is an avid outdoorsman and hiker. Prior to that, authorities say that Weston made a purchase at a local Japanese hardware store, though it is unclear what the purchase contained. So, China and Japan have all this freaking technology, but they can't tell him what he fucking bought? Ugh. Okay, there he went, in his cage. The hardware store was located in the K-word town. Yesterday, an update was provided by his mother saying that the police have watched endless footage on CCTV cameras and that they have deployed over 50 police officers, canines, and helicopters to search a heavily wooded area where he was last seen. He was last seen wearing a white shirt with writing on the back that said "Save the Bees" right here. Lavender corduroy. Who still wears corduroy pants? My 7th grade teacher used to wear them, and we could hear him coming a mile away. In a white Adidas. White Adidas what? I'm assuming shoes. Carrying a shoulder bag with the state of Alabama outlined on it. He is not wearing any of these. Okay. He's 6'2", blonde hair, long blonde hair for a boy. Blue eyes, wearing hoop earrings. You can see right there. He's got hoop earrings in. His mom, Nancy, is asking anyone for any information regarding his disappearance to please contact authorities immediately and not to post the information. That's what everybody should be doing. Contact authorities first. After that, she is asking that you can contact the family. Well, that's sad. Okay, we went over that with Chad and that with Chad. Famous gay portrait strangling female partner. What? Famous gay porn star Drake Vaughn dies strangling female partner. Okay. I'm not gonna touch that one. Not touching that one either. Teen returning items to ex-girlfriend at Walmart sees her new guy and shoots him. Oh my god. What? Thomas Pickford has been sentenced to 27 years to life in prison for the fatal unaliving of 17-year-old Christian Walker in, is it Keene, New Hampshire. According to court records, Pickford, who was 18 at the time, pled guilty to reckless second-degree unaliving in connection with the June 2025 unaliving. Prosecutors said the incident unfolded during a brief encounter that escalated into pew-pew, leaving Walker fatally wounded from a single pew-pew to the abdomen. Walker was pronounced unalived. I don't know what I can and cannot say on here, so trigger words, I'm going to put a different word in, and you can read what's on the screen. Shortly after the pow-pow, authorities described the case as a reckless, impulsive act that turned a public interaction into an unaliving confrontation. Damn. Where the hell are these freaking idiots getting these pew-pews? Like, seriously. Oh, class action stuff. My life. I don't know what that is, and I'm not touching that because I had a baby that passed away, so I'm not even touching that. Oh, Karen Reed filed an 87-page civil lawsuit against the Massachusetts State Police. Oh, God. I'm so tired of hearing about her. Inner City Press. Inner City Press is a good one if you guys want to go to X to follow him. Which one was he in? He went to, was it Diddy's? I think it was Diddy's trial, and he was like live updating. He's really, really good. So if you're on X, go to Inner City Press and follow him. He made the phone call trying to get me to take a post down. What is this? Is there no call or no sound? Chad, I didn't know you added more to your name on X. I'm like sitting here looking. I'm like, you added more to your name on X. Wait, oh, duh, 'cause I clicked on it, that's why. Cardi B responds to Little's Breakfast Club interview. I don't know any of this stuff, any of that stuff. Like, I don't keep up with celebrities. This is actually, though, really helping keeping my mind off what's been going on. So we're just gonna sit here and we're just gonna scroll through my X feed and look at stuff. Maybe we'll find something and we can do a deep dive into it. Mm. Charged with unaliving another driver in a head-on collision is blaming a dog that was in the car with her. Girl, he can't even speak. It was the dog's fault that I hit somebody head on. It was the dog's fault. The dog did it. Girl, shut the fuck up. There was, though, story time. See, this is what you get if you hang out. This, talking about with a dog. So, back in the day, I don't think my son was born at this time. So, this would have been like 2000, late 2007, early 2008. My late husband was in the Marines. There's, Camp Lejeune, whatever. Well, we had a house we were renting out in town, and we had roommates to help pay for stuff. Well, we weren't allowed to have pets, which, okay, whatever. One roommate comes home one day, and he's like, "Look what I got," and it's a fucking puppy. It's Shorty was a Jack Russell Terrier or Jack Russell dog. I would be the one to watch her, feed her, do all this stuff when they would go out to the field and things. Well, this was close enough. I remember it being cold out, so it must have been close enough to a holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. We all went home and then we met back up in Ohio, and we were just gonna follow each other back down to North Carolina. And the roommate was in front of us, and we're going through the mountains and in Virginia or West Virginia, one of the two, I don't remember. But this one way we're taking, two of our roommates were in the car in front of us. They had the dog, and then it was me and my husband at the time, because he has passed away, in our car. And we're like, why is Ryan not slowing down? Like, we were going down like this super steep hill. Like, I do not recommend driving through the mountains at night. Just don't do it. Just wait till the day. But we're like, why is he not slowing down? What the hell is going on? We didn't think anything of it. We finally get to a fucking, stop. We're gassing up the cars and we're like, why didn't you slow down? He goes, the fucking dog was under my gas pedal or under my brake. I couldn't. I'm like, what, you got a dog cage in your car? He goes, no. I'm like, oh my God, that could have turned out horribly. So I took the dog and I held on to the dog for the rest of the trip. And I'm just sitting here thinking that he could have killed himself and our other roommate that was in there, in that vehicle. Like, when I say it's like a 90-degree drop down. Like, it was just like, if you're driving and you see those, oh God, what are they called? Like, you're driving through the mountains and you'll see going up a mountain, it's like a dirt path, but it's not a road. It's not a road, nobody lives at the end of it. It's a semi, like, an off-ramp, you could say, for a semi that, like, their brakes fail or something like that, to where they can safely get their vehicle off the road and it'll go up to slow the semi down. That's how they gotta stop semis when they're going through the mountains. And if you've ever seen one of these, this is how steep this road was that we were on. Like, if you've ever seen one, you'll know, like, how steep. I'm just like, "Oh my God." But yeah, I got stories for days. What the hell? That's okay. Okay, clue. Literally, like, nothing on here. I know I've missed a lot. Where's everything hiding? That's oh, yeah, what's her face had some stuff about Betty. Where's my notifications at? I keep getting notifications. This person. Bullhorn Betty is getting ready to file more LOL suits against a bunch of criminals. One will be a federal case. She's just getting all her ducks in a row. What is this?
Because what you're doing is criminal. The stalkers have retired and found another victim. Either way, if they're continuing to do the same behavior, it's unlawful behavior. I don't want to hear anybody that's doing what they're doing to me or Brittany J or these other people talking about grifting or crime or anything like that. Or I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because what you're doing is criminal. Literally criminal. Not what we're doing. What we're doing is lawful. What you're doing is criminal. So I'm sick of people manipulating the situation. But either way, I don't think we have the stalkers that we once did. For this channel. We still have one, but we're going to work on that. I'm still waiting on some stuff to finalize the paperwork. And hopefully I should have it by the time I get back, and maybe we'll start moving on. I got 2 lawsuits I'm going to be filing. Obviously, European Island lady, Peggy, she's awaiting service of a cease and desist letter. So once I get that in.
They got her sped up really, really fast. Hold on.
I may just go ahead and file suit without it because she's avoiding it. But BS is the one I'm going after, and that's the one that's going to take some time to get through. And
okay, to understand her, we're going to have to deal with the lag in her voice, because if I go one up, it's going to go right back to being super fast. So you're just going to have to deal with it.
It's going to be a federal lawsuit, so I've been working on that for some time. I've kind of set it to the side so while I waited for information, but I've been following up on information. I've been getting, some stuff in.
Okay, I'm not dealing with that, sorry. Dolly Vision. Lawrence fuckboy. Here we have a boy claiming he's that dude, the tough guy. What, Dolly? What are you?
I can only say for me, if I'd have been standing there and you would have came up, like anybody came up and had that same type of stuff, and I'm like, hey man, get away from me, and you don't leave me alone, somebody's gonna bond me out of jail. Okay, because that day, and what would that have done? That have made me look like a terrible person, right? Right? It would have made a scene inside a crime con, right? At least the dude with the glasses, he was calm enough to be like, hey man, get away from me.
Oh,
some people may not have.
They're talking about, I think I shared it on my page. I'll have to go and look after this. They're talking about the guy that JLR got up into his face. I'm pretty sure I did share it. We'll watch it.
Like that. It goes, like if you go harassing people and you get up in people's face, some people are not going to be like, hey dude, get away from me. They're gonna act out. Okay. And I'm just letting anybody out here know now. I'm that dude. Okay, I'm that dude. Like you come get up in my face with some crazy stuff like that, right? I'm that dude. You it ain't gonna end this.
No, you're not. Hold on, let's go back to your profile. Yeah, this guy right here. Hold on, I'll play it here in a second. Jail investigates. You are not out of character. That is just who you are, a bully that likes to play victim and a little beep and throws allegations out there about people's personal lives. But once people do to you, you cry and lie. Let's watch this.
You say a lot of things about me online, don't you? So you say it as a statement of fact.
I don't even know who this guy is.
Your opinion. Evidence of what? Evidence of what? So let me ask you something. I heard that you abused your girlfriend.
I'm gonna mute my mic so you guys can turn it up. It's only a minute and 9 seconds. I'll just let it play through so you guys can turn your volume up. Once it's over, I will put my mic back on. So just kind of keep an eye so I don't like bust out your eardrum.
Ask a YouTuber that makes videos about another YouTuber, hangs out and everything like that, so we can sit there and talk. Now, folks, unfortunately, this is out of my character. However, this guy makes a lot of videos about me. Here's an
So interesting. Whatever is happening on that escalator there.
I forgot my mic was off. That is Nerdy Addict. JLR was waiting at the escalators for him. I didn't watch this all the way through. Maybe I should have watched it all the way through.
Oh, is that him there?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, that's both.
He's right up in his face.
Nerdy keeps trying to walk away.
You're not going to do nothing. You're not going to do nothing. You're not going to do nothing. You are a child abuser, aren't you? Yes, you're a child abuser.
Oh, what did I do? How do we get out of this? Oh, duh. But yeah. What was this? Oh, this is another one. This is another one.
Crime Con 2020.
No, you're way off.
Wait.
What year is this? Oh, what year?
Crime Con 2020.
No, you're way off.
CrimeCon
What year is this?
2020. No, it's
Oh,
it's 2026. He said CrimeCon 2020. Oh, and this is where
JLR.
comes up to JLR and tell him he has to leave. Give me a second. I need some water. My throat.
That whole floor? JLR. To your right.
Okay, did you hear Alex? He's like giving him heads up. And who the hell, if you're at CrimeCon, I've never been, but I'm pretty sure their tables don't fucking look like with all these cups. And some guy even comes up and drinks something off the table.
I don't know, but I'm sorry, but thank you. I promise I will.
She was telling me I needed to bring you a water.
So they say that justice, like we're talking.
And again, I know the character.
At the time,
I know I do crazy stuff, but I'm saying, like, we're talking like
the person they had running the hotel, seriously, his wife was President Obama's campaign manager.
Oh, hey.
At the same time.
We gotta leave.
Okay.
What do you want?
Okay.
What's going on? You guys want a drink? What do you want? You want pizza?
All right, we gotta leave.
We gotta leave.
We gotta leave. For what? No, they told us we gotta leave.
All right. Hey.
This is YouTube. Jake for Justice.
What do we do?
Did I just hear Jay for Justice's voice? Was she there? Does anybody know if Jay was there? Or is she just somebody just watching her live?
Harassing.
She's got the full, we understand.
And then I have a second channel where I'm more of like not a clown.
Wanna go to dinner with us today?
I'm more like,
Tell
It sounds like she's there. There's been a lot of speculation, and I'm not going to repeat the rumor. If you know the rumor, then you know what I'm about to say. But there's just been a lot of speculation and rumors about her and JLR, and she's there. I didn't know she was going there.
you want to go eat with us later? Where are we going? Did you tell them the other one's better or no? Very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. You guys are awesome.
When we watched, of course, from the house, I was like, I like Alex. He seems like a cool guy.
He's supposed to be leaving, but yet he's filling his cup up with pop.
And he didn't get mad.
What? What? Oh my god. Okay, I already
A lot of you say a lot of things about.
Let me see here. Wait. No, wait. Let's go to top. What is this? Oh, it's April 24th. We ain't gonna go back that far. When was this? June 1st. The JLR investigates is going to get someone for. Oh,
Why did JLR almost throwing off the road? I did that before. They let you know when you run off the road. Sorry.
Why is he laughing? It's not a laughing matter. You heard what I talked about in the beginning. This is not a laughing matter.
Alex. Dude, we went off the road.
Yeah, we
almost went off
off the road, and that would have.
last moment on Earth before we go out of this world. Our last moment. Oh my goodness. semis. It's crazy. This is our last moments. Why did JLR almost throwing off the road? I did that before. They let you know when you run off the road.
To like reverse engineer an alien craft.
Really?
Yeah, and figure out like, and he could never.
Sorry, Alex.
Oh my god! You guys hear that? Mm. What is she blabbing about now?
And gets zero grace from the Bullhorn Board. Brian was 59 years old at the time. His attorney, Terrell Butler, which is the Bahamian attorney, he now has a new attorney in Michigan that's telling us to please give him a little grace. This man gets zero grace from the Bullhorn Betty channel. We do not like women abusers, okay? Period. Anybody that has the ability to hurt their wife instead of honor their wife is a piece of shit that doesn't deserve our consideration or respect.
Betty, I need you to come with receipts. I don't watch you. So if you could, please post the receipts on here and tag me so I could see these receipts that this guy is an actual woman abuser. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Fucking Shavy. Oh my god. I'm going back to the doctor. Wait. I missed something. What is this? Oh, that's weird. It was just it's just a link to a live stream. It's about to know you came at beating. What is this?
He sits there and talks a lot of crap.
Oops, sorry guys.
Yeah, so that guy's name's Mackie.
Yeah,
he sits there and talks a lot of crap.
Yeah, he's always talking.
He's accused of beating his girlfriend.
He beats his girlfriend too?
Yeah.
I think he's talking about White Boy Lockdown. This guy fucking creeps me out. Like that. Look at that. Look at that jump scare. Like that just is like he's such an I freaking can't stand him. What's this? Oh, we already watched that. Let's see what we got for media.
Yeah. But yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, he was from like.
Oh my god. We ain't showing that shit. I don't know. I thought there was a whole lot that I needed to catch up on. I guess not. I guess I must haven't really missed anything. Aw. Oh, that looks good. All right, I think I'm gonna get off here. Been on here almost 2 hours. I don't try to do super long live streams at all. See what? Are you stuck in the bathroom? Yeah, it does that. My son just got stuck in the bathroom. I don't know if I'll be on here the rest of the week and or weekend. I don't know. We gotta see how things play out. We're waiting on the charges to drop. So, but if I am, I am. If not, all right. So, but all right.